Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to the iConis podcast. And today we're going to have a quick thought about one of the mightiest teams that nobody seems to know about, the Defenders. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in once again. Remember, like, subscribe, and share. Don't let the show be a secret. And a big shout out to Jaybird Digital Arts for our template. Okay, and here we go. As I said before, we are going to talk about the team that nobody seems to know about, but is stronger than the Avengers in my opinion because it got the powerhouses. We are talking about the Defenders, and here's my thing about it. So who are the Defenders? So first of all, you got to understand how strong the team is by the members that are on the team. So the team is led by, first and foremost, Doctor Strange. These are all people within the MCU that we've seen individually in their movies, and I think they could bring them together instead of getting more far-fetched, right? Let's go down to it. So as I said, the team was led by Doctor Strange. What? Really? Joined by the Incredible Hulk. Okay. Joined by Submariner. Right? Namor the Submariner, which we would have seen a version of him, and I say a version of him in the second Black Panther movie. Okay? And last but not least, the Silver Surfer. How do you get four of these bad, right, characters, shut your mouth, talking about Shaft, forming a team, and they call themselves the Defenders. So what happened is, in Doctor Strange had his own solo series that was running for a while. And then at one point they abruptly canceled it. I believe it's in issue number 45 at the time. Or no, it was later than that. So they canceled, I think 183. So anyways, forgive me, but they canceled Doctor Strange's comic book. They had a story arc that they didn't finish. So Roy Thomas was the one who was working on the story arc. They canceled his book and he's like, well, I need to finish this somewhere. So they kind of made a special where they made an unofficial crossover with the Defenders, and they put these characters together to finish off that story arc of it, these I want to say aliens, but mystic creatures that were invading Earth, and, the Defenders formed to stop all of them. So that was their first appearance, and they kind of shown up in each other's books, right? So, Roy Thomas turned around, and that was it. Issue 183 back in November of 1969. It was in Doctor Strange. And then, Submariner, issue number 22 in February 1970. And of course, the Incredible Hulk of issue number 126 in April of 1970. So they all kind of showed up in the books together. At this point, they kind of formed an impromptu team. So their team model was almost like Batman and the Outsiders. Each person was an outsider within the Marvel universe at the time, not belonging to a team, but they all teamed up together. And then, of course, Silver Surfer joins the team. Okay, so we know already in the MCU that Doctor Strange has been cast. Okay, we've seen the actor play him. We've seen the Incredible Hulk cast and played. And, and Namor, if we have to go with the present one there, then Black Panther. So all three of these actors have been cast, along with, depending how you want to look at it. If you want to look at the Fox version of the Fantastic Four movie, then the Silver Surfer has been cast. And if not, and you want to go with the new one that is officially part of the MCU, Fantastic Four First Steps, then we can take the new Silver Surfer, which we have not seen what she looks like yet. But yes, it is a she instead of a he, but still Silver Surfer serving Galactus. So it is what it is. Here we are. Now, does Marvel need to do something with the Defenders? I think so, because the Defenders dealt more with mystic creatures. So picture Doctor Strange with a team, and they felt more tech creatures. And of course, this book to me was a gateway. So these were some of the characters and the heroes that were on this, in this series, and it had more of a revolving door. So once again, one of the main characters that we saw at one point was Valkyrie. So Valkyrie, the actress has already been cast for this. She already plays a role in the Thor movies. So Valkyrie is already there. Oh, wait, Barry, can you go further? Absolutely. Then you had Hellcat, who joined the team at one point. And guess what? Because of the Netflix shows, she was there. So if you watch Jessica Jones, Hellcat is there. She's played by Patsy, her, I guess, adoptive sister. She gets the powers of Hellcat, and she even refers to herself as Hellcat at one point in that series, and even gets the traditional yellow costume, puts it on for kind of a half a joke kind of thing. So that character is there. Luke Cage was on the team at one point. That character has already been cast in the MCU. So these are characters that already exist that can play out. Now, there's a couple of characters that have not made appearances in the MCU. But before I go on, if you watch the Disney Plus show, if you go on Disney Plus, you'll see there was a series that only ran for one season. Unfortunately, we talked about it. Hellstrom, which is Damien Hellstorm or Damien Hellstrom, how you want to pronounce it. And it was on Hulu, or through Disney Plus. Son of Satan. And we covered that on our show, on our podcast. We talked about that character and the connection that he has with Hellcat and what they're supposed to have as a relationship going forward at one point. So the only people we haven't really seen, Beast from the X-Men. Yes, that Beast, the blue furry guy, joins the Defenders at one point. So the only ones we haven't seen is Gargoyle, and the main important one to me is Nighthawk. So Nighthawk is the only character that hasn't made his appearance in the live version of the MCU. But if you watch the cartoon Avengers Assemble, he is there. He is amazing character. I know they bring him in as a villain. Once again, we're dealing with multiverse kind of thing. We're dealing with the Squadron Supreme, Squadron Sinister. It's the Marvel's version of the Justice League. And then they made their own version of villains of them and Kyle Richmond. So that is an interesting story. And I promise you, we will talk about Kyle Richmond in his own special, but I wanted to bring light to the Defenders. Now, with the MCU, we've had Guardians of the Galaxy, we've had the Avengers, we have the Fantastic Four coming in, we've got X-Men are going to make an appearance at some point. We know this. We absolutely know this. Are team movies fun? Yes. Would this be even more fun to take these characters from solo and have them do double duty? Absolutely yes. Because if we bring in the Defenders, we already have multiverses within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like it or not, they're there. So let's use them instead of the old scenario way. Let's use them to actually push the storylines that already exist. So let's use the Defenders with Kyle being Nighthawk, going now and fighting the other Earth with the Squadron Supreme. And they get into a fight because when they see the Squadron Supreme at first, they're like, oh, you guys are villains. And it's like, what are you talking about? And then they realize, oh no, you weren't fighting Squadron Supreme. You were fighting our other version from us from a different universe, was the Squadron Sinister, which had four main characters, four main characters, which was Hyperion, Princess Power, Nighthawk, and Dr. Spectrum with Speed Demon. So it's great. If you watch the Avengers Assemble cartoon, you would actually get some of their storyline and it's nice, but we need the Defenders for that to happen. It doesn't need to happen with the Avengers. Let the Avengers do their galactic world building. Let the Defenders deal with some time traveling. They've had crossovers with the original Guardians of the Galaxy. And this is where the storylines need to come in and tell us. So either give me a proper Defenders cartoon or give us a Defenders live action movie. And why not? Everyone that's part of the Defenders has already been cast and played the roles in this, with the exception of the one person. And that one person could lead them into bringing in Hyperion, the Squadron Supreme, Squadron Sinister, and having those big fights playing out. Now, the Defenders came about in their first official appearance in 1971 in December, and then they came back and had their own book starting in 1972. And that book ran for numerous, I can't remember, 100 plus odd issues of that. So this is where I think it would be kind of cool. If we have the Defenders bringing maybe the true version of Submariner, that's just going to lead into what could happen maybe in Fantastic Four First Steps. We don't know. I don't know, but here we go. It's an idea. Let me know what you all think down below. Were you fans of the Defenders? Did you know about the Defenders? And who would you like to see on that roster? I think that team, as strong as I say the Avengers are, keep in mind with the original four, like the four horsemen of the apocalypse, the original four of the Defenders, and we're talking Silver Surfer, Doctor Strange, the Incredible Hulk, come on now, and Submariner, Namor, like, that's four over P characters right there that can wreck shop, that their storylines should be epic. And on that note, thank you everyone for tuning in and let me know. As I said, the saying goes, this whole world was started by a pencil, a piece of paper, and lots of imagination. Keep on dreaming. And hey, Jaybird, thanks for the template. If people want to reach out to him, let him know you heard about him on the iConis podcast. And, yeah. And as always, I make sure to check my comic book archives because, that's where I find all my information, my own personal stash. Till then, I'm out.